I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I've been talking about the kind of assistance you will need as a man as you get older. Today, this video I want to do, please share it to your children. Share it to your children. Let me quickly say this up front. I made a video and I said that the Igbo mentorship scheme has been very, very good and has led to sustainable and enduring businesses in Igbo land. And somebody wrote that it is not only the mentorship scheme that they have PhD holders, professors, and all that. I always wonder why people don't take a message holistically. Did I ever tell you that you don't have professors and you don't have PhD holders in Igbo land? I took an aspect, which is the mentorship scheme that has been researched by prominent scholars all over the world and has been recommended. Let me ask you a simple question. The wealth in Igbo land, is it produced only by the professors and the PhD holders? A lot of the wealth and tall buildings and big structures in Igbo land, 70% of them, if I'm conservative, is from these boys that did this apprenticeship scheme. And let's not use PhD and all that. Moral support opusala okpole. Subeke. Oge madu genye ego, I can say moral support. Moral support opusala okpole. It is these boys, these are apprenticeship boys that carry the money, that bring the money. I know a church I used to preach. One person will produce 10 millionaires. Another person, those 10 millionaires will produce, my friend, I mentor him, produce 14 millionaires, have another set of 14 millionaires. He has been replicating millionaires from the general overseer who he served. That is the secret of the wealth in Igbo land. And don't bring all this PhD stuff. You can have name on social media, but you won't have real wealth, enduring family wealth in Igbo land. You see 5 boys building duplexes at the same time. Most of them is this mentorship scheme, and it's something we should adopt in Africa. Now, let's come back to something very important. As we get older, you keep wondering what will happen to your inheritance, your legacy. Abraham cried, God, is it Eliezer? Is it Eliezer that will take over my legacy? God said he will give him a son. That you can find a wife for Isaac. Now listen. As you get older, those of you, send these videos to your children. There are networks we have built, skills we have acquired, businesses we have set up. Most times, our children don't want to sit down with us and learn from us and listen to us. Most times, the same business we used to train you, send you overseas, you are not willing to come and contribute to develop it, take it to the next level. Sabanci Foundation in Turkey pays 5% of the annual tax of Turkey. It's a family business. Tata Corporation in India, family business. Versace, the brother died, the sister took it over. Rolex is a family trust. Kellogg's is a family trust. Bagdash Ice Cream Parlor in Damascus has been producing ice cream since 1895. Pick and Pay in South Africa is a family business. There's a hotel in China, in Japan. It has been there for 1,300 years plus. Family business. Beretta pistol, the Beretta pistol that the American Civil Service use, they've been producing that pistol from one family, if I'm not exaggerating, for 500 years. The Indian Asians, their family businesses go from one generation to the other. In Africa, most times it doesn't happen amongst us of the Negroid race. So, why is it that we don't coalesce as a family to run with the legacy? I have real estate. I can't finish building all of them. But how many of my children know the details? This ministry I am doing, thank God, I have Dr. Ufoma Apoki, PhD. He started writing these books from the age of 13. Established his own company, publishing company, from this same business while he was in the University of Benin before he went for NYSC. Today, all the conferences I do, this channel, my YouTube, Facebook page, and everything, he administers them. The accounting, he administers them. If I do real estate transactions, some of them in Europe, he administers them. So, this aspect of my life is in the hand of one of my sons. Okay, let's take medical practice. I used to take my son into the theater, my eldest son. I will write in his palm. I will do as if I'm writing professor, professor. When I discouraged him from reading medicine, he still went and read medicine. Today, he's a German citizen. He's an orthopedic surgeon in Germany. That arm of my life has been taken over by a son. I have a daughter who studied education. So she manages our schools. There was a day somebody came from somewhere, wanted to intimidate the mother. You know, my wife is a nurse midwife. Wanted to intimidate my wife. And my daughter said, "Mommy, please, let me talk." When she finished, that official said, told my daughter, "Madam, please hug me so that I can tap anointing." There was a day a man came to the school, wanted to intimidate people. You know our people here. By the time my daughter finished with him, he came back the next day, said he didn't sleep well. That he was thinking, do I have a child that can stand on my behalf as Dr. Apoki's daughter has stood on his behalf? The secretary to one of the state governments in the South wanted to bring the former secretary and wanted to bring the child to my school. By the time my daughter finished discussing with him, he called my friend, who is a pastor, said, "Dr. Apoki, vomit this one," that I vomited my daughter. She says she's Apoki raised to the power 2. You might not like her. Some people say she's harsh. Some people say she's too strict. That is me, increased to a higher level. Her daughter had the highest grade, the highest average in the whole school recently. That's my granddaughter. And yesterday, a man who admires me so much came to my school and wanted to admit the grandchild. And when I brought my granddaughter to show to him that this is my granddaughter, he said, no wonder that some other children passed because we are doing holiday lessons and they didn't greet them. But my granddaughter passed and greeted every person. Our children, particularly in the diaspora, we are Africans. We are Nigerians. We are not Europeans. We might be living there. We are not Americans. There's a place where we come from. You can see the recent xenophobia in the UK. And if God does not help, in several other countries, people are going to start telling we of the Negroid race to leave their countries for them. Sometimes our people misbehave, but most times they say we are coming to take their jobs. Would you be ready to do the jobs Africans do? Would you be willing? One of my sons has a cleaning company. Cleans. It's my son. I'm so happy he's doing that because he's learning, he's building himself. If he does well from that cleaning business, so one European will come and attack him that he should leave his country, would you have been willing to do that? And we excel academically, we excel business-wise, we work hard. Nigerians are enterprising, even though we have our own negative parts. So let's start making our children realize that we come from a place. Let them realize that no matter the imagery they create wherever, they have a place they need to build and develop. Forget this, my wicked generation. We will soon pass away. A new generation will take over. Africa will change. Nigeria will change. The values of your father. Please, young men, young women, don't follow your mothers and all these European women or over Sabi Nigerians that went there that are throwing your fathers outside. So painful. There is a legacy. A place you come from. There's a legacy in your father that is more than the house your mother is looking at. That is more than child support. There's a legacy in your father. There's a family inheritance. Every family has an anointing. When the anointing is developed, it becomes an inheritance. When it is propagated, it becomes a tradition and a culture. Zelophehad's daughter said, is it because our father had no sons? Should his name disappear? The other people that Jeremiah gave wine to drink, they said no. Our forefathers told us not to drink wine and not to live in houses. My desire is to have children. And that's one thing I admire about the Yorubas and the Igbos. Wherever they are, they answer their Yoruba names. The Igbos, wherever they are, they teach their children. Their children speak Igbos. I've seen Igbo children speak fluent Igbo. There's one woman, Ocha, I admire her so much. And I pray that the Ohanes in Igbo will give her an award. She speaks Igbo, takes care of her children, speak Igbo, and she's a European. Let's share this video with our sons, our daughters. Let family. If you have a good father, you have a good mother, let family and family values be the bedrock on which you will grow. Dick Cheney has Liz Cheney. Pelosi's father has Nancy Pelosi. Mrs. Clinton is carrying Chelsea Clinton all over the place. That's the way these people reason. They train their... Look at Trump's son. Look at Trump's son. Look at Trudeau in Canada. Trudeau in Canada. Imelda Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos. Look at Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is now president in Philippines. I'm not saying we should only do politics, but I'm saying even in businesses, our children should be ready to build on the legacy we have. I'm Dr. Charles Apoki. I have a webinar coming up on the 13th and on the 14th of September tagged Sustainable Development in Life, Business, Ministry, and Career. Send a message to +234 7052 136763 and I will send you the flyer. Don't organize big burial for me as my son when you don't visit me frequently, you don't sit down to discuss with me, you don't know my pain, you don't know my dreams, you don't know my ambition for the future, you don't know my legacy. That big burial is a waste of money, just self-aggrandizement, and it is foolishness. Now that I am alive, I am the most important factor you should relate with, collaborate with, and celebrate. I'm Dr. Charles Apoki. Remember the seminar. Send a message to +234 7052 136763. God bless you.